Oh, hey there. My name's Kev, but some people know me as the Pompadour of Light. I've been living here on Etheirys for 3 years now. I'm kind of a big deal around these parts, but it wasn't always like this. 3 years is quite a while after all, and a lot can happen in that time frame. For example, I got laid off from my job, adjusted to a pandemic, got rehired, survived a pandemic, developed a case of chronic migraines, moved to the big city, joined a cult, quit my job, started my own cult, lost my hair. You're beautiful, Kev. Thank you. Am I really beautiful? I also gained like 30 pounds. Found love in a hopeless place. Got framed for murder. Ended a millennia-long war. Fought in a revolution. Traveled to the multiverse. Went to space and saved the world many times over. And after all that, well, I'm actually on vacation right now. But it's crazy to think that 3 years ago, I wasn't even here. But the question remains, how did I get here? Well, meet my friend Sorrel. Say hi, Sorrel. Okay, that's fine. She's shy. We used to work together. In fact, we sat right next to each other. And every day we would bond over all sorts of things, from movies such as The Lord of the Rings, to even video games. She had a love for Kingdom Hearts and also gave me a free copy of Nier, which I still have to this very day. I told her about my time as a youngster playing World of Warcraft, and naturally, this led to the topic of an MMO that she was currently playing, Final Fantasy XIV. I grew up playing Final Fantasy, so this was awesome to hear. Because I was no stranger to the Final Fantasy series as a whole, she asked me a very important question.
Do you want to play with me?
And I said, no.
Such devastation!
You see, I knew the dangers of MMOs, how they could tether you for years, slowly corrupting you, withering you away, turning you to the darkness until you never see the light of day again. Besides, I had a life now, and a big boy job. I could never travel down such a path again.
Dude, it's just a video game.
No, my sweet summer child.
Why is the music playing again?
It's a lifestyle.
A lack of kisses! There. Oh, dies of cringe?
Alas, day after day, the question would be posed. Though I remained steadfast in my response, the damage had been done, the seed was planted, and I would end up playing just a few years later. So, if you were to ask me how and why I started playing Final Fantasy XIV, it was because of my friend, Sorrel.
See, I told you.
But if you were to ask Sorrel why I started playing, she would say it was because of this.
Well, I never thought this day would come. Even as it is happening, I am still, goddammit, piece of shit. Alright, guys.
Okay, the truth is, it was a mixture of both. I never would have had the idea to play another MMO again if it wasn't for Sorrel. And I never would have taken the plunge into 14 if it wasn't for all the newfound hype surrounding the game. WoW was in full exodus mode, and it was crazy to see the amount of people jumping ship.
You see that? This is God!
And because of all the attention, I ended up getting a look into 14. I watched people begin their journeys and saw their enjoyment. And with all the new incoming players, I figured if I was going to give this game a shot, now would be the best time to start playing.
Right, I'm a luckiest sons of bitches in the world, you know that?
Plus, COVID was still doing its thing and I wanted an excuse to continue living like a hermit. Oh, and I also had the grand idea to try to make videos on YouTube and thought it would be cool to document my progress. And document my progress I did. In fact, while making this video, I was slowly reminded of all the experiences that led to me being here today. A walk down memory lane. Like the 6th umbral calamity, a flood of memories swept over me. I remember creating my character and the first moments when I stepped foot in Ul'dah, which to this day remains the best and definitely canon starting city. One of my first and most vivid memories was walking around and seeing some dude jamming out on an electric guitar, which I thought was so dope.
Once I rose above the noise and confusion, just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion.
For me, it's little things like this, how players interact not only with the world but with each other, that truly adds to the immersion and makes the MMO experience that much more enjoyable.
This is how Rogadins impress other Rogadins. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Sundrop Dance.
Oh, she just left me! She left me, no! I remember seeing my friend Sorrel for the first time in game.
I found her. I found my friend.
He took me for a ride on some flying mounts, and this just instilled in me this wave of nostalgia of past MMO experiences.
Oh, you
look
know.
so tiny compared to your character.
Yeah.
And though I was on the free trial, it would only be a few days later when I upgraded so I could unlock some of the more social aspects of the game. And though I had only just begun my journey, I was excited for all that was to come. I imagined this behemoth of a main story I would get to experience, all the side quests I would do, the classes I would unlock and max out, crafting, gathering, housing, and whatever end game this game had to offer. Raids, PvP, epic loot, mounts, and more. Okay, so in 3 years, I've accumulated 103 days, 16 hours, and 34 minutes of gameplay. This is what I've accomplished. Dawn Trail released in July, it's currently September as I'm recording this, I haven't finished the MSQ yet.
Spring break, spring break.
I'm on level 95, this quest to be precise.
He's being a stalling way? I am not being a stalling way.
Having a great time. I did a lot of yellow quests when I first started playing because that's how I thought I was supposed to level. Then I found out the MSQ would take care of that, so I kinda stopped.
She just paid me gil to pick up her gil. I should drop her gil more often.
Haven't touched many since, but if you're an Endwalker, go to this guy. He has one of my favorites. I've done a lot of the side stories or blue quests, especially the ones that unlock trial series. This one's my favorite.
I can't see shit.
But I haven't finished Hildebrand. I need to start the Endwalker part. I think the thing I like most about Hildebrand is the animations. I heard Hildy was or is used as a testing ground for this kind of stuff. My island's been withering away for like a year now, but one day I'll get back to it. Haven't experienced all the variant dungeon paths yet, but I remember getting some cool lore in this one. That's pretty awesome.
How come you never picked the path that I want to go to?
Doma still hasn't been reconstructed.
Look, I'm sorry, lady. I just don't think I have anything I can give you right now.
I've heard Tataru has some sort of grand endeavor, and that I can dress up Emelians. Yeah, I haven't done that. I have done all the Alliance raids though. I love the Myths of the Realm series.
Oh damn. Hello.
Whoa! I don't think I've unlocked all the optional dungeons yet, but I think I got most of them. Still need to complete most of the role quests and other capstones. I beat Eureka though. That was a huge grind, but it gave me this old MMO feel, so that was pretty awesome.
Be on the button. I'm on the button!
I barely started Baja though.
Oh!
I also haven't completed any of the deep dungeons. This is my worst enemy. We meet again. I've done all the Beast Tribe stuff that I have access to. You'll see why in a second. I haven't maxed out any combat jobs yet. I actually have yet to unlock Paladin, Bard, and Dancer, and Sage. By the time you see this, Viper should be 100 though. I've been playing it for Dawn Trail, and I really like it.
Oh!
Sloppy.
Even though a lot of these jobs are leveled up, I actually haven't done the job quests associated for most of them. Don't worry, I haven't ruined your roulettes, but I have leveled these pretty passively through other means. Sotobachi is not pleased.
Look, it's not about finishing it, right? Because once you finish, then there's nowhere else to go. You've reached your destination. It's about the journey. Some journeys don't take that long.
I've done 0 gathering and crafting, but the first one I want to do is fishing. Have you been to the Eorzean Aquarium? This one's Sorrel's room. I do have a house though, an FC house. Okay, I guess it's not my house, it's Sorrel's house. I'm not allowed to touch anything outside of my room.
Hey, Sorrel, Halloween's coming up. I was thinking about like placing these pumpkins out here in our front yard. What do you think?
No, it's ugly.
Here's my room. I did repurpose her room into my room though, except her room is blue. Actually, my room is blue too, except it was green once. Or was it purple? Anyway, I record stuff in these rooms. Green doesn't work very well with my skin color though. I've actually been living here for a long time and I finally earned the right to reside in the basement. Here's my basement. I record stuff here too. Oh man, yeah, that is hot. There's a chance I recorded something in your room too, and you just never knew.
Okay, so I'll just need you to do that emote, and then when you finish that emote, just unsheath your dildo.
I'm sorry you had to see that, but he made me do it. I did try to get my own place once.
We're doing it.
But my application was denied.
Hope you enjoy your house. I hope you enjoy your plot. Let's be real, this plot was nasty. This wasn't even a good plot.
This economy, am I right? Now I've done some of the extremes, starting in Endwalker. This was my first one, and my favorite.
Super clean.
Clean!
I've done some of the Savages, starting in Endwalker. This was my first one.
Yeah, let's go!
This is my favorite.
Oh my god.
My talent is accumulating these gray numbers. I like the gray numbers because they have the potential to become other colors. I haven't completed any of the Savage tiers though. Our half static kind of petered out on the last fights for the past 2 tiers, so maybe next time. I have heard a lot of great things about the Dawn Trail fights though, so I'm excited for that.
Amazing fight. One of the best fights I've ever made.
Oh, sounds like they like the fight.
Haven't done an ultimate yet, but ultimately, raiding has been pretty fun, and it's the reason I met so many of you, so I'm thankful for that.
Let's go!
Here's my mount collection. This is my favorite one.
Bless you.
Here's my minion collection. This is my favorite one. Kid Cougar actually gave me this nutkin back in Heavensward, and this nutkin has gone with me everywhere since. Clearly, there's a lot I haven't done yet, so you may be asking, Kev, what the hell have you been doing with all your time? And the answer is, Frontlines. No! No, you're shitting me! We don't talk about Ice Map here.
Oh shit, it's Ice Map.
By the way, how come it feels like Frontlines is all I do, yet somehow some of you are in just 1 month winning like half the amount of games of my total games played?
I'm calling out all the frontline no-lifers because I'm jealous of their success. And I wish I could have this. This is insane.
That's crazy. Much respect. I did do some CC back in the day, Season 1 and Season 2 to be precise.
Ah! That's right, bitch!
I grinded all the way to Crystal Rank. My wife was very proud of me. I want to do more CC, but I can't even queue in right now because my gold rank is too godly. I also spent a lot of time in the gold saucer.
No, this game is stupid!
For a lot of people, their dailies consist of roulettes.
No, this game is stupid!
My dailies consist of mini cacpot.
Stupid!
And that's the end of my dailies. I am also the proud owner of a fellowship called the Pompadorables. It's a secret group filled with strong, like-minded individuals gathered for a single purpose. Let me tell you the story of how this came to be. Exactly, almost, about 3 years ago to this day, I, a young sproutling, was out adventuring here in eastern Thanalan, and somebody off in the distance caught my attention. A fellow Rogadin who bore a striking resemblance to me, not only in stature, grace, and beauty, but of hair as well. Bold, pompous, buoyant. I realized that in my short time playing, I had never come across another pompadour in the wild, and I realized just how rare of a breed we were and how monumental an occasion like this was. This Pompadourian would become my first ever friend. Actually, that's not right. Sorrel was my first ever friend, and then Sorrel's friend became my second ever friend, so that was a lie. This Pompadourian would become my first ever third friend, and this Pompadourian was named Pizza Steve. Yeah, it was Pizza Steve, which apparently is from this cartoon called Uncle Grandpa or something. Anyway, to celebrate our newfound friendship, we did as one does when encountering another Pompadour. We like emoted at each other and stuff, it was pretty sweet. And after that day, Pizza Steve and I, well, we became inseparable. I'm just kidding. I never saw Pizza Steve again. Like literally after that moment. Actually, I think they stopped playing shortly after that because I stopped seeing them pop online on my friends list. But that was the moment when I realized we, as Pomps, need to stand united. I founded the Pompadorables shortly after because I understood the bond we all share is deeper than most people could truly fathom.
Holy crap. Hell yeah. Look at this Pompadour, baby. Hell yeah, brother.
Sighting another Pompadour in the open world is an extraordinary event in and of itself.
You must join me.
So I wanted to make sure I could christen these meetings with an official invitation to the world's most prestigious fellowship. And to this day, I've continued to add to the ranks.
This guy says, I finally found my people. Been wearing this pomp for 3 years.
Some notable names include Scissorup, a poetic play on words for lean. There's also Small Man and Medium Man, Prometheus Potassium, Smooth Brain, Shrek the Second, Mr. Kitten, Giant Farts, Corn Pop Bad Dude, Dubu Egg Fried Rice, and Ocean Man. Pizza Steve, I may not have seen you ever again since that day, but just know, if you ever see this, I have purged my friends list many times, yet you still remain here forever. In 3rd place. So, what does this all mean? The fact that I've been here for this long, but seemingly have accomplished so little. Well, it doesn't really mean anything because it shouldn't really matter to you. I played this game in a manner that suits me, just as you play in a manner that suits you. My story thus far is a culmination of not only every moment that I've experienced, but the lens through which I've chosen to experience them through, and the people that I've chosen to experience them with. We live in a time where it's so easy for outside influences to skew our own perspective. A time where we have access to a million different opinions, a million of which may be misconstrued as fact. Sometimes it's so easy to let other people tell us what to do or how to think, to tell us what's good or what's bad, or how to enjoy something. But if I were to play by somebody else's rules, then it wouldn't really be my story then, would it? And for me, that's the beautiful thing about Final Fantasy XIV. Some days, I just want to get lost in the sauce of a grand adventure by progressing the MSQ a bit. Other days, I just want to hang out, maybe bash some heads in front lines, do some roulettes. I'll go through periods where all I want to do is ERP, extreme rate progression. And then there are times like right now, when I feel creatively inspired and spend my days filming and editing. For me, my time in 14 can be summarized by 3 core pillars: story, community, and creativity. And that's my challenge to you, to find something you truly enjoy, not because somebody told you to, but because you want it for yourself. So go on, forge your own story, and let nobody sway you otherwise. Okay, now let's talk about the story and why it's good and why you should be enjoying it, and if you don't enjoy it, your opinion is wrong. But for real though, if you were to randomly select a bunch of 14 players and ask what the main draw of the game is for them, chances are a good portion of them are going to say that it's the main story. So much so that while 14 is an MMORPG, I've often heard it described as an RPG MMO.
While Final Fantasy XIV is an RPG MMO.
There it is. I'm stealing that.
The leveling experience is quite different from other MMOs that I've played, because you can take a job all the way to max just by progressing the MSQ. But make no mistake, there are plenty of players who love this game for more than just the story, and there's plenty of players who hold no interest in the story itself.
And so I implore you, lend us your power.
In fact, I think sometimes the community does this game a disservice when they're shilling the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV to their friends. Don't worry, I do this all the time. I've had friends ask me, Kev, do you think I'd like Final Fantasy XIV? And knowing their gaming habits, I tend to say, it's pretty heavy on the story, you might not like it, but... And then I list off some of the things that I think this game does very well. Gameplay-wise, it's gotta be the fights, the epic boss encounters. There's nothing better than taking on a snake lady with a bowl cut while jamming out to some dope music.
Yeah! Yo, that's so dope. This one is so good.
And speaking of dope music, it is abundant in this game. Soken and team do a fantastic job. They'll hit you with different genres and have you feeling all sorts of emotions that you never thought you could feel. It's something you have to experience for yourself. Then there's player identity, not necessarily from a class or job perspective, but more so how one can express themselves via how their character looks or dresses, all the way to how they decide to design their house. Then there are some of the social aspects of the game. I'm talking about player-driven initiatives that bring people together, things like LunarCon or the aquarium or this Lalafell walk that you saw earlier in the video. It's so cool to see the different ways players come up with to interact with each other. Now, I've always said that the true gamers live on Crystal, because through the good times and bad times, content droughts or any other headwinds that would normally deter the broader player base from playing, well, these fine folk are still here fighting the good fight. Well, hell yeah, we gonna get some virtual head today, baby. Let's fucking go. I would be remiss to not mention the developers and the overall team that supports this game. As a new player, I would always hear about how great this group was, and after being here for 3 years, I can honestly say it's true. Never mind the systems or content that they decide to implement, because in a way, that's always going to be hit or miss. You can't really please everyone, but I'll be damned if I said that they never try. Because there's one thing that's irreplaceable, and it's the clear love and passion they show for this game and the people who play it. So dev team, big shout out to you. I appreciate your efforts, and I'm excited for the future. I want to talk about the main story a little bit, mostly just about my favorite parts with some critique thrown in here and there, and I will be spoiling some stuff, so for those who want to skip ahead, here's a spoiler-free summary. In many ways, I'm not so surprised and fully surprised at the depth, investment, and enjoyment I've gotten from this story. I'm not so surprised because this is a Final Fantasy game, the type of game I play when I want to delve into an epic saga. And I'm fully surprised because, well, this is an MMO, and I wasn't quite sure how they would weave such a tale in a multiplayer game. I find the MSQ somewhat akin to, say, somebody tackling One Piece for the first time, except maybe not nearly on as grand of a scale, but still, it's long and girthy, and it's an investment, but the journey is well worth it. There's nothing like seeing your warrior of light journeying from one pivotal moment to another in all haste. Speed so fast and wind gusts so strong that your pompadour succumbs to the very might of aerodynamics itself. And wait, what do you mean you've never experienced that? Oh, that's right. You don't have a pompadour. Let me show you what you're missing out on.
Look at the pompadour.
Look at the look at the pop though. The pop is looking glorious.
Look at the pop.
What is this gloriousness?
Look at the pompadour.
All right, into the nitty-gritty we go. Spoiler territory. See you on the other side. I feel like there's a lot we can dive into here, and I have so much I want to share about my experience, but I'm just gonna briefly, or not so briefly, touch on the base game and each expansion. Perhaps in a later video we can do a deeper dive. Now, a lot of people talk about A Realm Reborn and just how difficult of a barrier to entry it can be for new players, and I get it. It's older, it shows its age, and it kind of takes a while for the story to get poppin'. I had a great time in ARR though, and I think it's because I was just so excited to be playing another MMO again. You ever go through those periods where you're waking up early, full of excitement and vigor, times when you're just feeling good about life, maybe because you got a new job or you're dating somebody new? Yeah? Well, that was me in ARR, waking up early, eager to play. And for how sluggish it might feel to others, I was in a very optimistic and open-minded mood. Whatever the game or story wanted to throw at me, I was ready to accept it for what it was and see where this tale would take me. Though, like most people I assume, it wasn't really until the end of ARR when I realized I needed to strap on my titanium underpants because shit was starting to get real.
Yep, something's happening, man.
You know, everything that happened with Moonbrita.
Don't worry, your sideburns will live on in my memory forever.
And Nanamo.
Oh, that was the vial! That's what the vial was for! That's some quick acting poison though. Unless she's faking her death. Is this the play to over the play? Did he sense it? Oh no, is this the frame Kev though? Is Kev gonna so many questions?
I thought we were about to go full-on Game of Thrones up in here.
Oh, Thancred, are you flirting right now? Bro.
We had political espionage.
They did a good job with this face, man. This is the face of, I have money, you can't touch me.
Raban, who to me felt like the de facto leader of the Orzean Alliance, was disarmed and dishonored.
Oh no, Ilbert, you bastard. Oh, shit. Oh!
The Scions disgraced and forced to scatter to the winds. It was so epic.
Is this really what Heaven's Ward is? Is this gonna be the redemption arc, the innocence arc? We're gonna have to reconvene with our allies, prove our innocence, take down the corruption.
And what happened to Nanamo scarred me so much that I became distrusting of everyone. Remember in the scenes leading up to the big event when we go up to Momodi like, oh look, we found this empty vial of sorts, and she was like,
Oh, you should totally hold on to that. You never know when you might need it.
Might be best if you hold on to
yeah, I thought she was in on the whole thing.
Oh, is Momodi on this too?
To this day, there are times when I do not trust her. Everyone's beloved Archifant. Yeah, I thought he was gonna be evil. He was way too nice to us.
There is no need to act alone.
So when he talks like this, he sounds shifty.
And though we end up losing characters over the course of the story, unfortunately, the threat of death pretty much subsided for me when we found out that Nanamo was alive and well.
I was having the longest dream.
You won't believe what's happened, lady. Things got crazy.
By the way, Lolorito is a badass character and did nothing wrong.
What if he has these beady little eyes?
Oh, he's got big, luscious white eyes. It's like a little lake of just pure white goodness. Like heaven. It's like heaven's color. The gold. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. Look at that.
And look, I'm not somebody who needs to have characters die in order for a story to be compelling, but sometimes it feels like there's very little at risk and the stakes are low, at least for our scions, right?
Oh shit, is this happening? I think Thancred is good. I mean, he's clearly not doing good right now. He's not doing well.
Like an Endwalker at the very end, where our friends are giving up themselves in order to open a pathway for us. Yeah, I didn't really feel that much sense of urgency. I figured they'd be okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's why these sacrifices, they're very heartfelt, but I don't feel the gravity of like death. Not in the same way as, you know, some of the other characters that have died.
And that's okay, because that does not take away from what that moment really stood for. This is a hero's journey, and I love this story, and even without that element of risk, I have enjoyed so many emotional, well done, and impactful moments with great payoff.
Hug, yes! Am I gonna get it? I'm gonna get it!
I will bear it with you.
Oh, shit.
Heaven's Ward was fantastic. There's just something about the cold climate, right? The snow, the intimate cast of characters that we get to know and spend so much time with, religious fanatics and their hold over a populace, and big-ass dragons. Who doesn't like big-ass dragons? By the way, I figure now is a great time to claim that Alphino is my favorite twin and my favorite scion. He's also the funniest scion. He's just got that natural funny bone, and I'll fight you about that.
Very elegant. 10 out of 10.
I mean, it's probably because of all the time we spent with him throughout ARR and Heaven's Ward. He's like a little bro, and the big bro, little bro dynamic he's got with Justinian is awesome.
Oh no.
Rivaling even the duo of Urianger and Thancred. Now, I've actually heard that a lot of people dislike Alphino, especially in ARR. And look, I get it. He was a young guy with grand ambition, maybe a little bit too pompous. But I feel like that's mostly the Sam Riegel voice because, well, it's Sam Riegel. Heaven's Ward is also host to my all-time favorite scene in this game.
Oh! No way! Ice Lady! Are we gonna see Archifant? Maybe? Oh shit, son.
The emotional impact of Force Ghost, Archifant, and Ysayle giving us that final push to pull the eyes from Mistidian will forever remain atop my non-existent tier list of MSQ moments.
Oh man, that's heavy.
The eyes! Cast them into the abyss!
The ring! Toss it into the fire! What if Kev's like, no, I will keep it?
Heaven's Ward will always remain one of my favorite expansions in this game, but Stormblood stands out to me for its cast of villains, who to me truly felt villainous compared to other adversaries we come across in the story thus far.
Best villain in the game that I've faced thus far, hands down.
As opposed to somebody like Gaius, who, while antagonistic to us, was somebody working towards the betterment of Eorzea in his own way, or Nidhogg, who was fueled by vengeance over the death of his kin. The Stormblood villains just kind of felt like assholes, and I really liked that.
Oh!
Save the
Oh, look at that face, man.
Now, I'm not saying that at their core, there isn't a motivation for why they are the way they are, because that's something that 14 does really well, which is giving us villains with convictions and motivations that are more than skin deep and kind of humanizes them in our eyes.
Oh, he's got a big rock. No! Oh!
Later on, the Ashians become the perfect examples of this.
These are the calmest people in the entire city right now.
But sometimes, I like me a villain who's just a villain because they're a dick. Like this guy.
Burn out the bird. Oh, he's just going and burn out the bird. Oh my god.
I remember getting to see Xenos in action for the first time, and the dude felt like a true powerhouse and somebody to really fear.
Is that it? Is the game over? Are we done? The game has ended.
Stormblood is also home to the sickest burn in the entire game.
Try again when you've become a man.
Oh! 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 That's a burn.
But what I like most about this expansion though, is we get a true look into the consequences of Garlean expansion. I love me a good revolution, and while there's so many awesome storylines to choose from,
oh, she got the tears. Oh, poor Dola.
Like following Lisa's growth into a badass, dress-wearing, ass-kicking resistance commander, my favorite arc might just have to be Raban's parting from the Immortal Flames and Nanamo's journey to becoming a true leader fit for service.
Perch on his arm one last time. You have to do it. One last perch.
But let's not forget how Stormblood ended either, and all the crazy events that set up our journey into Shadowbringers.
Oh shit, this is a new migraine.
I don't know if there's much I can say about Shadowbringers that you haven't heard already, because it really is that good.
Wait. No, he is fighting the light. He's on the other world, right? Where the light consumed the world. That's definitely like a light. We're the Shadowbringers.
Never mind the breath of fresh air of being on an entirely different reflection, where everything is somewhat similar, yet still jumbled up.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Or the deep lore drops that we get that begin to answer the questions that we've been asking since ARR.
Okay, clearly, fiery things happening here. A little dark figure. The dark and light, they're either chilling or they're at odds, and then now the light triumphed over the dark. The light looks so happy. So proud.
Forget all that, because Shadowbringers is home to one of the most intriguing and well-written characters that I've ever come across.
I am Emmett Self. Asian.
Oh, hey, fuck you.
If I had a tier list of characters that spanned across all media, Emmett Selk would definitely be up in that S tier.
This guy is so mysterious to me. He is just so...
And that's what I really liked about Shadowbringers. Characters shrouded in mystery that kept me on my toes and kept me asking questions. Like, what's the deal with the spooky ghost? What about this nipple baby?
Oh my god. So he's got to be some like... He's got to be like a Sin Eater, like a very high level. Is that how he's controlling them? Is there something he's conjoined with one or something?
Why is Miniphilia so small?
Miniphilia? Wait, what?
Who is the Crystal Exarch?
Has he ever deigned to show you what hides beneath the cowl?
No. And I've always been super curious.
What's up with the Ashians? And then it would give me answers, which ultimately led to more questions. Can we talk about the Crystal Exarch for a second? How many of you knew that this was G'raha Tia the whole time? Because I had no idea.
Oh, he's a cat boy!
Remember in the beginning of Shadowbringers when the Exarch brings us to the Crystarium for the first time, we have a dialogue option to ask him about G'raha Tia, and he's like,
I don't know who that is, bro.
I'm not familiar with that name. Is there something I should know?
Yeah, I just kind of took that at face value. Endwalker was actually right around the corner at this time, and I even got spoiled because I saw some official artwork or something that showed G'raha, so I knew he'd pop up eventually. But I figured the Exarch wouldn't lie to me like that, so I kind of forgot about G'raha until the big reveal.
Wait! I know him!
There's just too many great plot lines to mention in this small section, but if I had to pick one standout, it'd have to be the trolley arc. Now, a lot of people shit on the trolley arc, but it's actually peak cinema because it's the perfect example of... I'm just kidding, it's not the trolley arc.
Oh, you again.
But look, I actually think there's a lot to take away from the trolley arc, but I think it's probably sluggish because it's the equivalent of a come down after an all-night bender.
Yo, I'm getting the chills right now. That's an epic scene.
But for real, the standout arc would have to be Amarant. Everything from the arrival to the ending confrontation with Emmett was just insane. I'm just gonna play some clips.
Is this battle station fully operational? What's going on here? This place looks beautiful. I was gonna say, so who's the surviving Heidelin champion? That's basically us, right? My new old friend. May you find what it is you seek. Who are we? Who was I to you? You are me and I am you, Arbert. We are the same. We are of the Heidelin. We're the people who did the Heidelin thing. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, he's doing the thing. Oh, throw wide the gates. He's doing the thing. They're doing the thing together. Do the thing, man. Do the thing.
Remember us. Remember that we once lived. No! Everybody really liked him!
Overall, Shadowbringers was peak storytelling, and I was so excited to get into Endwalker. I understand. It's hard to say goodbye sometimes, especially to something that's worked so well for so long. Because in many aspects, including business, it's risky to put an end to something when the safer route is to keep milking that cash cow. But all good things must come to an end, otherwise we remain here treading that same still water time and time again. And that's why I like Endwalker so much. It felt like a blessing to receive a fitting conclusion and closure to this long journey. And I imagine for a lot of you, especially those who have been following this story for a long time, that it was bittersweet. But if anything, Endwalker is a great analogy for this. To be able to say farewell to the past and to embrace the future, no matter how uncomfortable or different it may be, to understand that finding one's true purpose may be the most complex question we can ask ourselves, but realizing that we have the ability to define our own sense of meaning, and knowing that it's both the good and the bad moments that make the journey worth it. That is what Endwalker meant to me.
I feel like it's just like comforting being in this presence right now. What if he doesn't find anything, and that's what makes him lose like hope or something? Damn, it's crazy to see it in action here. Oh, she cried. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Is it Xenos? It's Xenos. I recognize those footsteps. We got the it's the heaven cell.
At the end of everything, I find you, my friend.
Yes.
Where lies happiness?
I'll tell you this much: happiness probably lies in living life to the best that one can, instead of trying to end it. Oh, the music! It's about to come. Oh, it's it. Wow, look at that. Look at the ring. Oh, the big bright cross. Oh, shit. Part 2. It's done. We done it. We done finished. We done did it. We have walked to the end.
Well, shit. That was a nostalgic trip. Now, I got 2 more core pillars I want to discuss before I send you on your way. One of them being community, and the community for 14 as a whole has been pretty great. Of course, no group of people is without its faults, but I am a firm believer of like tends to attract like. So, if you are a decent person, chances are you will find yourself surrounded by other decent people, and your exposure to the more toxic sort will probably be limited. One interesting community habit I've noticed is the player base's tendency to wait for first-time storygoers to finish their cutscenes before pulling a boss, for example, just so that players can get that full experience, which I think is pretty neat. Like, I'm totally down to give a few minutes of my day to potentially enhance somebody else's time, because really, that's what MMOs are about, right? The moments we share together. Now, on the opposite end, the community can get very protective of this story or game in general, so much so that any critiques of either could be interpreted as an attack on something they hold dear, or even worse, a personal attack on they themselves and their ideals. And their mom.
Your mama's so fat, her food buff only lasts 30 seconds.
Yo mama's so fat, she has her own binding coil.
Which, by the way, how dare you personally attack me personally and my personal mom? That's fucked up.
Your mama's so fat, when she's in your 4-man group it says heavy party.
Now one can argue that this overprotective fervor comes from a place of love, but one can also argue that these critiques also stem from love, from wanting to see this game improve and just be better. So it's a good thing that everybody on the internet is very rational and civil about these kinds of topics, which allows us to have open-minded discussions and gives us the opportunity to learn from each other.
Yo mama's so fat, it takes 4 white mages to raise her.
Yo mama's so fat, she has her own login queue, and still can't get in.
There have been some interesting events pop up during my time in 14. For example, not too long ago, there was like a healer riot of some sort. Let's just say things got a bit interesting. In another instance, there was like a killer chair on the loose or something. I think a lot of Lalafels were murdered, and it was a scary time for a lot of people. And yeah, there's been some other things that popped up here and there, but honestly, if you're not on social media, then you wouldn't really know about it, and in turn, it didn't affect you. Actually, even if you knew about it, it still didn't affect you. But the moral of the story is, stay off social media. It's bad for you, but follow me on Twitter though. Broader community aside, I just have to give a shout out to the smaller community that I've been blessed to be around for a while now. I've always had somebody around to share the moments with, and I couldn't imagine playing 14 any other way. In fact, if I were to stop playing today, I'd feel happy knowing I left the game making new friends. This kind of brings me back all the way to middle school when I was a kid playing World of Warcraft. I joined a guild and ended up befriending a small group of people who ended up being a part of some of the best times of my childhood. We played WoW together, we played not WoW together. We hung around in Ventrilo all day, and it was awesome, and it feels like I have something akin to that now. These people have also had a direct impact on my progression as an editor, because I wouldn't have been able to make this video or a bunch of other videos if it weren't for their willingness to participate in my filming shenanigans, or for their guidance when I'm looking for something specific in the game, or their company when I'm just sitting around editing, which is a perfect segue into the last core pillar I wanted to talk about, creativity. But before that, to those of you whom I have been referencing, you know who you are. Thank you so much for your support and your camaraderie. I've had a ton of fun, and I look forward to the future. This game, the people who play it, and the creators that surround it have inspired me in so many different ways. Growing up, I never considered myself a creative person, and when I started comparing my art to others, I shied away from anything creative altogether. It wasn't until college where my love for music pushed me to find a creative medium that I actually jived with, which was audio. And here I am, many years later, where my love for gaming has allowed me to find another creative outlet that just makes sense to me: video editing. A true melding of audio and visual. It took me a while to realize this, but my ultimate goal as an editor has always been to capture that euphoric feeling I get when I'm fully immersed in the music or media that I'm consuming. I want to be able to allow the viewer to experience the same things I felt in that moment in time. You know, that epicness during the Ride of the Rohirrim, or when this rebel Starfleet arrives from hyperspace ready for battle. It's the sadness I felt when Simba is begging for Mufasa to wake up, or when Matthew McConaughey realizes just how much time has passed while he's been up in space. And it's the overall joy and comedic experience watching Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker in Rush Hour, or Dewey Cox never once paying for drugs. For me, Final Fantasy XIV encompasses all of this and more at many different moments in time. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm here for a journey and everything that comes with it. Likewise, it's been awesome seeing the player base's creativity sprout around this game. From all the cool fan art I've seen making the rounds online, to the YouTube videos, whether they be discussion-based, narrative-based, or something that just has really dope edits. Because that's the best part about it. Everything you create gives me a chance to step in your shoes and see the world from your point of view. I've even had the opportunity to work with other members of the 14 community. No matter the time frame or the extent of that collaboration, I will always remember these folks for taking the time out of their lives to give me a chance. And of course, I gotta thank this guy for giving me another avenue to continue my editing journey and giving me the perspective to see a potential pathway to realizing my dream of editing for a living, no matter how cursed our videos might be. I've been able to create things that I never imagined myself making. I never saw myself as the guy who could bring some sort of value to somebody else's day. But thanks to this game and all of you, I've been able to find something in life that I truly enjoy. To me, that is the most important thing. To make something I can be proud of for the people who will see it. And that's what these past 3 years of Final Fantasy XIV have meant to me. Guys, it's been a pleasure. This video was months in the making, so believe it or not, I will be finishing Dawn Trail MSQ in the near future. Come find us live here on this channel or on Twitch, link in the description. Go watch Randy Marsh do the MSQ and let me know down below how your 14 journey has been so far, and maybe we can journey together in the future. Keep pushing to the end of the year, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next one.